The great thing in our world is not so much where we stand, as in what direction we are moving. My name is Dominic. I'm a freshman at Anacortes High School, and AHS is helping me move towards becoming my future self. At each stage of my time in Anacortes schools, teachers have helped me know more about who I am, supported me on who I aspire to be, and helped me figure out problems I want to solve. Today, I'd like to tell you about one such teacher. Mr. McCartney is my honors English teacher. He's one of those great teachers I get to work with. Mr. McCartney is teaching us how to process information. We read books I wouldn't choose to read on my own, that I end up liking, that help me understand more about social justice. The freedom of thinking in his class and the ways he expects evidence to support how we think teaches us that it isn't what we can remember that matters, it's how we process the information to come to an answer. He helps us know how to organize the information, figure out ways to use it, and think about what is most important. Mr. McCarty makes his lessons interactive. I'll give you an example by trying something with you now. When I say go, I'd like you to turn to someone next to you at your table and see if you can agree on the correct answer. You'll have 20 seconds, then I'll call your attention back to the front of the room and share the answer. So here's the question I'd like you to discuss. What is the #1 reason people are fired from Fortune 500 companies? And go.
I'm thinking interpersonal skills, like, Oh. Well, how about attendance maybe too? Like poor attendance, yeah.
Like a yeah. I don't know. That's hard to
3, 2, 1. And the answer to the #1 reason people are fired from Fortune 500 companies is because they don't work well with others. Okay, now everyone high-five your partners and say good job. That's another thing Mr. McCartney does well. He helps us work together. It isn't about everyone agreeing. It's about respecting other people's answers and getting a chance to think better because you're working with others. Mr. McCartney uses strategies that help us think. We do an activity called 4 corners, where there are 4 different arguments, one in each corner of the room, based on a text that we've read in class. After Mr. McCartney shares the question, we move to the corner with the answer that represents our best thinking for the question. Then we debate with everyone else, trying to convince people to move to our corner because of our information. For example, we read an article on Harambe, a gorilla who was shot and killed because he refused to let go of a young boy who fell into his enclosure. Even though he didn't hurt the boy, he was still shot. The question Mr. McCartney asked was, should Harambe have been killed due to his actions? We then moved to the corner of the room with the answer that fits our thinking best. The corners are also all labeled with signs saying, I agree, I strongly disagree, and I disagree. After we've chosen our corner, we share our thinking of that corner choice using text evidence. If Mr. McCartney wasn't careful though, and prepared as well, all we would feel is embarrassment. Instead, we feel safe to move and think and share ideas that could be incorrect. Most of the time, there isn't even a single correct answer. Any of the choices could be correct. It's how we think through the question that is the most important. We also do something called Socratic seminar. We sit in a circle and discuss what we read through a process of asking and answering higher level questions. The process includes both the teacher and the students asking those questions, listening closely to each other, and adding on or challenging each other's thinking. The answer isn't as important as how we got the answer. Using Socratic seminar, we've discussed books we've read, Great Expectations, Into the Wild, even Plato's Caves of the Allegory, which we compared to the movie Truman Show. Most important, Mr. McCartney is excited about his learning. He's really funny. He makes us think. He cares about our answers. He treats people with respect. We feel that what we say in his class is important. He's helped me understand what it's like to be a high school student. Mr. McCartney is one of my great teachers, and Anacortes High School allows us a place where we can figure out who we are and what we want to solve. We're not just tolerated, we get to try, to fail, to succeed, and to think. Native Americans who carve canoes out of trees talk about cutting away the wood and finding the canoe inside. I feel like that's what's happening to me. As for my future, I have a real passion for music. There's not enough music in the world. Music helps us feel, experience, think, mourn, and celebrate. I want to be a part of that by making music in a band and composing music for movies. My parents say it doesn't matter how talented you are, or how good looking you are, or even how much you know. It's about how hard you work. Music is something I really enjoy working at. My education in Anacortes is helping me develop a strong work ethic, become a better thinker, and effectively solve problems. These are all skills I can bring to my music. As I think about who I am in Anacortes schools, I appreciate the diversity of my experience. I play guitar in a rock band, I'm a soccer player, I'm a mathematician, I'm a scientist, I'm a writer, I'm an actor in theater productions, I'm a thinker, I'm an artist, I'm a future college student, and I'm a future problem solver. You might even one day watch a movie and hear my music. My name is Dominic, and I'm excited about the direction